Hello, friends. Welcome into Studio Day Jeffrey for an episode of Believe in the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be joined by Jesse Holley in a moment, former Cowboys wide receiver. But that means that I can give us a moment to get everybody in here, prepare your questions, and knock out the details. The details being that this presentation is brought to you by my friends at Melon, M-E-L-I-N is the name, Melon. And it's the best hat on planet Earth. You won't nap your snack if you go underwater with this hat because it's an underwater hat. That's not even probably accurate. It's probably not the way I should read it. It was just a funny radio thing that happened when we were talking about above water hats and underwater hats. And Melon hats are actually made for active wear. I golf in it. I volleyball in it. I wear this thing out. I still don't have the sweat stains or the nasty on it because it's a badass hat. Melon.com, melin.com/Cowboys. And you can get 30% off. They don't do discounts very often. So go get you a Melon hat or else I will fight you. I won't fight you if you don't get a Melon hat, just to be clear. I lied just then, but they're great hats. All right, everybody's already in the chat talking about Tyler Guyton. So we got a couple different things going on. We got Cowboys looking at wide receivers. We do have what Tyler Guyton is up to. Sorry, the Cowboys offensive lineman. What they insist on doing is confusing or potentially confusing people by making sure that they have names that are the same. Like Tyler Smith and Tyron Smith, Tyler Biotish. And then the Guyton, you had the Smiths and you had Tylers. Now you got the Tyler. They like to mess people up. Did Zay sign with everyone yet? No, Zay Jones has not signed with everyone yet. Justin, the answer to where do I play volleyball? I play volleyball at the Sandy Pickle or Bryan Street Tavern or wherever else. People like to play those things. Is my laptop plugged in? I'm not on a laptop. There's no chance that this thing is going to die mid-broadcast. It's not going to happen. Stephon Gilmore stuff. Zay Jones stuff. Tyler Guyton stuff. Also want to let you guys know that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I will be chatting with Brian Broaddus, former Cowboy scout, former co-worker of mine, and sweet, sweet man. And we're going to start, I believe, doing something weekly right here on youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. Now, you can also follow youtube.com/@Time4Jeffrey for if I decide to start doing wild content that is not Cowboys related. I'm going to fire off a thing that says we're live and that people can join us. I told Jesse 6:30, so I just hit go live. Jeff, do you have Cash App? I think so, but I don't know. I definitely have the other things. Corey says, sigh. This team is going to win 10 or more games again, right? Probably. That's the thing. We can complain about the Cowboys offseason all we want, but it doesn't change that if that offensive line is average or above average, yeah, they're going to win 10 games. Yeah, they have Dak and CD and Micah. Tank. Yeah, they're going to win games. Just enough to make everybody mad. Halfway to satisfied, but also mad. That's what they're going to do this year. And then we're going to figure out what in the hell is going on here. What in the hell is going on with Dak? When is CD getting an extension? When is Micah getting his stuff done? Because you still can't convince me that Dak's not going to be the quarterback. Every single thing that they have done this offseason would lead to, yeah, it absolutely could happen to where he's not going to be the quarterback. But I just don't believe it. They'll leave stuff to the last minute all the time. That's what they do. They're like, yeah, just wake us up when we actually have to do it. We're going to get to training camp and we're going to get a Dak extension. That's what I think is going to happen. Have you stabbed anyone with the sword yet? No, but I actually broke out the sword last night, which is a dangerous thing to do when you're just hanging out in the back. I was hanging out in the backyard with some buddies, having a couple of drinks, playing with the sword. So yeah. But I haven't stabbed anyone with it. No. I got a text from Jesse Holley. He said, 5 minutes, please. Lost track on the dog walk. And that was 2 or 3 minutes ago. So This is going to be the Jeff show. It's going to be the Jeff show. I asked for questions on social media. And one that I got was about tobacco in 1840. And the question was, what do you think tobacco was like in 1840? Because people like to make jokes when I ask for cowboy questions because they think that that's a cowboy question, like Cowboys dip, you know? No, we're not doing a mock draft. Chill out. Deadlines make deals, Jeff. That is correct. That's what they do. That's what they do. Any chance he stays away from Oxnard and him and CD show up together after extensions? They could. They could. Where was I going with that? Oh, I bet tobacco in the 1840s was way better. Because in the 1840s, we didn't put as many chemicals in. I don't think. Like in the 1840s, my favorite thing to do is to speculate about things that I could look up without looking it up. But like, who was the first one to manufacture dip? Skull or Copenhagen or whoever. Who's the first one to do it? I don't know. But in 1840, I bet they didn't put as much stuff in it. As much addictive stuff. Your menthol stuff. I bet they didn't put as much stuff in it. So I bet it went hard. I bet chewing tobacco went hard in 1840. I bet you just ripped whatever out of the ground. What does tobacco look like in the ground? Is it a plant, a leafy plant? I don't even know. But I bet they just ripped that stuff out and started gnawing on it, and they were crushing. Favorite draft night moment not named CD, Gallup, or BB? I mean, it has to be Xavier Woods because I got him drafted. The DB coach literally, after we told him to trade back up for Xavier Woods, and then they traded up for Xavier Woods, came back in and told Xavier Woods, you should thank these guys for getting you drafted, which obviously he was just joking, and it was funny. But how do you not get excited about putting in the call multiple rounds early and telling the position coach live on the air who you want him to go pick, and then they do it in the route that you ask them to do it? That had to be it. What do you think about the trading for Najee Harris rumors? I would say why? I don't know why. Why would you trade for Najee Harris? I have to look him up. But I feel like Najee Harris is still kind of going off of the fact that he was a first-round pick. 4.1 last year, his first year over 4 yards a carry. Like Najee Harris, yeah, he's okay. But last year, I feel like every time I watched the Steelers, I was wondering, why aren't they giving the ball to Jalen Warren more? He's the better player. It's like the Cowboys don't have a good running back room, but they don't have, I don't know, there's not a guy out there that I'm chomping at the bit or biting at the chip to try to go get. The oldest dip tobacco brand is Copenhagen, 1822. I want the first can. I want the first one. Y'all think the guy who put in the first dip was having the time of his life or what? Any chance you can work for Cowboys draft again? Not the same without you. Legally, I could now. Not that I couldn't legally before, but their radio partner, I think, went to them and was like, hey, that guy is a competitor of ours now. Could you kind of not, you know. You had to bust open dip with a can opener? That'd be badass. I'm trying to quit dip after my next. I need to look inside how much is in here. Oh, I brought the wrong one in here. This one's already empty. I think I got 2 or 3 dips left, and then I'm trying not to do no more dip. I stopped and I got my patches, and we're going to try. Have you ever double dipped and sig same time? Yes. Back in the day, if you went to a NASCAR race, I'm old enough to remember that probably 15 years ago, maybe more, outside at the venues, you could go through these tents where the tobacco companies, like you just gave them your email address and phone number or whatever, and they would give you a sleeve of dip and a pack of smokes or whatever. And so, yeah, one time I had a dip in the left, a chew in the right, and a cigarette lit. It was wild. I got high. Jeff is too handsome to lose a jaw to dipping. Thank you. I agree. I'm at least a 7. And that's the thing. Addiction sucks. I don't know if you guys know this. Addiction sucks. Man, this title, anybody who clicks on this later is going to be like, wait, you said there's going to be all sorts of Cowboy stuff. I'm sorry. But you got to let the chat run the show sometimes. Addiction sucks. I've tried to quit dipping 100 times. Have you tried the Zen route? The Zen route is not good for me because, hold on, I'm going to add Jesse Holley to the conversation. He's just going to have to pop into what's happening right now, and it's going to be interesting. Jesse, we're just talking about addiction and tobacco. Don't worry about it. You're sideways. So anyway, it's real hard, and I can't do the Zen route because if I try to do the Zen route, what happens is fake dip or dip substitutes. What they make me think of is, man, dip is way better than this. So if I have a Zen, then what I do is I go buy dip. And so that's not good. So I have to go like gum, candy, crap like that. But it's hard. Addiction is hard, and it sucks.
It is. It's a
Jesse.
It's a sickness. What's up, brother?
I'm just chilling.
It's not like the boat hat.
What is that? Is that a melon hat?
Yeah.
Bro, they sent you that one?
Yeah.
They didn't give me that one.
No, I don't have that one. I don't have that one.
You don't have this one? This one's clean, right?
No, I don't.
Melon.com/Cowboys, 30% off. This one's clean though. This is great.
Yeah,
volleyball and golfing in it. Trash.
No. Yeah, your white one and my blue one are similar. I got a tan one, and then I have a black with the black army fatigue on it.
Dude, that one does look like you should be on a boat.
Yeah, it's a boat hat.
Huh. All right. Well, you missed a bunch of stuff about nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. You missed a bunch of stuff about nothing, but I got the sponsor read out of the way and just been talking to people. Just having time in the chat. Yeah. So if you had something that's on your mind today, you just let me know because I've just been playing with the chat.
No, addiction is, the funny thing about like addiction, like we all have it. Like we all have it. Like we all have something that is difficult to kick. And as much as we try, like addiction is like mental health almost. It's like you can't go at it alone. Like you kind of need some accountability partners. You need some extraness to go with it because that thing is it's in the quiet moments, right? It's like when I'm super busy on like it doesn't work. It's like in those quiet moments when it's like no one's really looking.
It's the worst. No, it's the worst. Because I think it goes hand in hand with mental health. Somebody said that in the chat. Like your addiction stuff, it's like when you feel, insert this thing here, right? Like I'm an anxiety person. If I get anxious, then there's the thing I reach to that for a moment you feel like helps you, but it doesn't really. That's the thing that really sucks is I know that it doesn't actually help. Because like, here's what dipping does. Dipping relieves the anxiety that you have temporarily that you're feeling because of your last dip. That's what it is. It's the pang of my nicotine. I have removed this. It's gone. And so now the real anxious feeling that's physical is just from what you just did. And so now you have to do another one to relieve the problem you created for yourself with the last one. And it sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, it sucks.
It does.
It sucks. But how are you? How was the walk?
The walk was well. It was because it's about to rain really bad. So I was like, well, let me get this walk in for the dog before it gets really, really bad. And he's been inside all day while I was at work. So got a good walk in.
Okay. Well, that weather might affect my plans because I can see it outside and it doesn't look great. And because I was thinking about going up to Rollertown, Ben and Skins Brewery in Salina, Texas for the games. Yep. But if it's going to be crap weather, I don't think I want to drive that far in crap weather.
It's supposed to be like severe, you know how you get severe thunderstorms in Texas. It's like, poop, the tornadoes here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we can get that sometimes.
Yeah, dude, there's nothing weirder or more cool except for the fact that it destroys things and murders people. But there's nothing more cool than the eerie vibe of looking outside in nadir weather when it's like the light is kind of the wrong color. And there's a feeling in the air and the way the wind is moving where you're like, Earth something is effed right now. And something's going to have to go like this because this is weird out here. It's wild. It's wild. What do you think about today? Zay Jones?
Let's talk a little about Zay Jones. Zay Jones came to Cowboy country, made a visit, didn't stay, didn't have a deal when he left, taking more visits. I personally, I don't know what the parameters of what a deal would look like for a player like Zay Jones, but And maybe this goes along the lines of how the Cowboys are wanting to do business, continue to do business this offseason, where like we're really not going to give Dak Prescott many weapons of any kind. And so we're going to let him have to go out there with an all-world CeeDee Lamb, right, who I think has entered the conversation of top three. Put him where you may, but I think he solidified himself as one of the top three elite receivers in this league from the body work that he's done. I'm not against Brandon Cooks, but he is getting long in the tooth, and he had his spots last year when he showed up and was big for the Cowboys. But again, this is another guy who's on the other end of what a good football player is. Not saying that he's not a good football player, but he's not trending up. He's kind of on the way out. And we keep banking and waiting on the Jalen Brooks and Jalen Tolbert. And we don't know what we're going to get from them. We don't know if they're going to take that proverbial next step. This is year 3 for Jalen Tolbert. It'll be year 2 for Jalen Brooks. And we saw a little bit of nothing last year. Like there has to be a major leap in the conversation for Jalen Tolbert to get in the conversation of being like I don't think Jalen Tolbert in year 3, he has to be clear-cut number 2, in my opinion. Oh,
I don't think that's happening, right?
Well, then what are we really doing?
Counting on Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. But you would think in year 3 that if I had a 2A and a 2B, like that's where I want to be at in that conversation. I don't want it to be a clear-cut number 1, and then Brandon Cooks are number 2, and then fill in the blank of who's number 3, Tolbert or Brooks or whoever it may be. Like I want Jalen Tolbert in year 3 to take that significant jump where you're saying, now we're going to feature him as the number 2 guy, and Brandon Cooks, you kind of get him where you fit in, not the other way around.
So, okay, here's the thing that I wonder about then, because I do wonder, because the Cowboys did have Zay Jones come in. He was released from Jacksonville because Jacksonville has Christian Kirk. They drafted Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round. They signed Gabe Davis. So, like, the reason that they cut him was to save money, and they had spent money to replace him. So, like, they let him go because they were like, we're good here, buddy, and we think you make too much money. But I think he would be useful on the Cowboys roster. But the reason I would sign him is kind of a reason that I wonder if they really want to, but they visited, so they do. Because like I would bring him in because I liked Jalen Tolbert as a prospect. I thought Jalen Tolbert had something. I thought he could be an NFL starter. We haven't seen anything from him so far that makes me go, oh yeah, we were right about that. Mm-hmm. But teams love to, if they've drafted a guy, give him chances and chances and chances and be like, no, this is his year to take his step or whatever. And if you bring in Zay Jones, I feel like what Zay Jones is a dude that if Tolbert hasn't taken that step and you're like, oh, we kind of suck at a starting wide receiver spot, you put Zay Jones in and you go, we're okay. Like he's not going to be amazing. Like, I think he's an NFL 4th receiver, but it's also possible that that's good enough to be your 3rd best receiver. But teams love to give their guys all the chances.
I see Zay Jones as more than that.
Okay. I mean, if you think he's more than that, then I signed him yesterday. Like if you think that there is Zay Jones is like a no doubt top 2-3 wide receiver on an NFL football team.
On this football team,
you signed him yesterday.
On the way that this football team runs offense and what you need from a receiver, especially when we're talking about getting into the red zone, for sure. Because this football team, like a lot of other teams, and I think Jacksonville kind of sort of is one that wants to take a lot of deep shots to drive the ball down the field. This offense, while it takes these deep shots and it's efficient when it takes these deep shots, this thing wants to run from shallow to intermediate. Like that's where the Cowboys want to live in their zone. You look at a lot of stuff that CeeDee Lamb is successful on. Like, yeah, he had the 92-yard touchdown against Detroit, but that should have been a sack that a guy closed his eyes. Dak Prescott stayed with it, throws the bomb down the field. But a lot of things it's slants, right? That's the West Coast offense. It's slants, it's hitches, it's out routes, it's in routes. It's everything that's really in that shallow to intermediate range. And then you expect those players to then give you a ton of yak. That's been CeeDee Lamb's game since he left Oklahoma, right? It's getting the ball right now, watch him work. And you've seen that transition into the National Football League where he's been every single year, he's added more and more and more into who he is as a player, but the yak remains the same in the sense of that's how he gets a bulk of his yardage. I think Zay would fit perfectly into that mold. I think he's a guy with the big catch radius. He's physical. He's strong. He's a really good route runner. When I say he's a good route runner. I think that would fit more into the mold of what Zay is good at than it trying to be a stretch the field vertically down the field and make plays that way.
Yeah, and I will say about him, and also while we're in here, thank you to Element24, new member of the channel, and The Lunatic, who gifted 5 memberships to the channel. What a hero. And threw in a super chat, support new Cowboys media, go Cowboys. The other thing is I was talking to some top secret people. I'll never share my sources. And maybe this is redundant because Brandon Cooks is here, and I feel like he's kind of the leader, old head of the wide receiver room. But people in Jacksonville like Zay Jones, the dude, and Zay Jones, the teammate, and say that he kind of helped Calvin Ridley when they were on the field with like, what are we doing here and why? And he's like that sort of dude. So he's an old-ish head that's been around that I think limits the ability for you to go, oh crap, we don't have a third receiver. And like, if you can teams love to give their guys chances. And if it turns out Jalen Tolbert's taking a step and it's like, hell yeah, that dude can play a bunch of snaps, then great. But I like the idea of Zay Jones just because if that's not the case, you go, oh, all right, put Zay in. Like, that'll be okay. That'll be fine. And he can play everywhere. He can know exactly what the hell's going on out here. And he can do all those things. So, if they sign him, that'll be good. But he's continuing his tour. Zay Jones is going to Kansas City now to hang out. And I mean, if Kansas City wanted me and I was a wide receiver and Dallas was like, yeah, but what about playing for us for the league minimum? I'd be like, well, I'm going to actually go talk. Let me call you back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see what Pat and them want. I'm going to do that.
It's funny because you saw pictures of like Xavier Worthy when he drafted by Kansas City, and he goes to Kansas City and he's doing this, and they have one of the worst locker rooms ever. Like it's still 1990, like 2002.
They finished 32nd in the NFLPA player survey for ownership. Like basically, the ownership don't give us nothing.
And it's like, but at the end of it, because you come to Dallas and you're like, it's the Taj Mahal of facilities, right? You're like, oh my God, we're in the $5 billion or $2 billion, whatever, 5 Mile, whatever that thing is. And the ambiance is fantastic. The grass is green and the locker rooms are plush and the technology is up to date and all this stuff happens. But you're like, but Kansas City called and I'm going to Kansas City because I'm going to get a chance to play with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So that's always a determining factor for that ownership. Is like, yeah, we win championships. The hell with the locker room. People are going to come with us anyway because there's 15s out there. If they're offensively minded, they want to go play with 15. If they're defensively minded, they know that, hey, I don't got to do much defensively because 15's over there. We're good. I'll deal with this old plywood looking locker and this carpet that probably stinks, but that's all right. It's just a weird situation they got going over there in Kansas City. Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow. Anything that you're looking for? And I'll give you kind of a brief hint behind closed doors of like rookie minicamp, what it feels like, looks like.
Yeah, because all I saw was what I believe Todd Archer said, where he's like, it's not like they're going to do a bunch of, like, we're going to learn a bunch of stuff about this in terms of the public and what happens out there. Probably more of a learning thing for the rookies. And I've already talked about this on a video before, but had nothing to do with their rookie stuff. But like, I went from being like, Tyler Guyton is a rookie to kind of like, this might work out when I saw that he was working with Big Duke. Like what the Cowboys do is they will draft an offensive lineman that is very toolsy and has good traits. And then immediately Duke Manyweather of offensive line masterminds who runs his own thing out in the same area. I feel like the Cowboys draft a guy and then they're like, by the way, on your way in, here's Duke's number. Text him. He's going to get you right. And when I saw he's working with Duke, I was like, all right, we picked the right guy. He knows who to work with. But no, I have no idea what goes on in their little 3 days of rookie hangout. Here's your playbook. Good luck.
Yeah.
Won't sink.
It's funny because Duke's setup is like literally, not exaggerating, a block.
Yeah.
From the start. And like most of the rookies, when they come in, they stay at the Omni. So they're like literally, and that's like it's the start on the a crosswalk Duke setup. So
Dude.
it's like literally like when you say, "Hey, on your way in, stop by." You mean that literally? It's like, "Hey, on your way in,
Yeah.
stop by right here," because it's literally on your way in, on your way in to the Star. But like rookie minicamp has evolved over time because back I'm an old fart, but back when I had rookie minicamp, it was like the worst. It was literally no. I'm telling you, like it was the first line of weeding folks out because it would be like 30 guys, 40 guys, and you get everything that you would do in a regular practice. So you're doing offense, defense, you're doing special teams, and you don't really got no subs. So it's like you're thrown into the fire. Now it's no,
Basic training.
seriously. It is literally like, and guys don't come back from rookie minicamp. They're like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." Like this is what the NFL is. Guys literally quit and don't come back. You see the guys who are in shape who are not in shape. It used to be hell. It used to be hell, but the league has changed and rules have changed, and so it's no paddock practices and things like that. No full go. It's now a learning thing. I'm fortunate enough that I get a chance to go by there on Saturday. I speak to the rookies on Saturday. Yes, I do. I get a chance to
What are
speak
you
to
gonna tell
the.
him? You tell him to have a fall guy? Jesse, don't say that. You're gonna go viral.
No, there's no videos inside. There's no
Oh,
videos inside.
okay.
There's no videos inside. I think there's no videos inside. At least there's no videos inside that's gonna come out.
Just don't
to the
say
media.
fall guy. Say, listen, young man, live your life the right way. But if not, make sure you have some deadbeat friends that you shouldn't be friends with that are willing to go to jail.
No, it's usually a pretty good deal, man. I always talk about my little spiel that I talk about from the media perspective, and I always let the guys know that I don't care what university you've been to. I don't literally don't care what university you've been to. It's not this. The coverage is not this at all. Like it is 10 times. You're not in this little bubble of Columbus or Ann Arbor or Tuscaloosa or wherever, Stillwater. What it ain't that.
If the Cowboys sign Zay Jones, do we have to go back to his real weird thing that one time years ago where he was like running naked through the hotel or something?
It's gonna come up. It's gonna be a conversation. But the rookies more so. It's literally welcome to the NFL rookie. You get your playbook, and they're holding your hand. They want you to understand the concepts. And guys are getting acclimated and finding things out. So they're going. It's turned into an acclimation process so that when the big boys come, and you do get some on the field reps and stuff like that, and guys get a chance to get out there and work. But it's always funny because you're for these next 3 days, you're kind of the rookie, the guy, right? You're Tyler Guyton. You're like, I'm the guy. I'm the first round pick and all that kind of good stuff. And everyone's like, look at me and talk to me and be about me. And then like a week or two now, the big dogs will come back and they'll go, well, that's Dak Prescott and that's Ezekiel Elliott and that's CeeDee Lamb and that's Michael Parsons. And that's
what if they did? Like if they did live stuff and be like, Guyton, boy, that man, oh, he looked good. And Guyton, like, I don't know his personality. This is all made up in my own head. And Guyton's just like, yeah, first round pick. No biggie, boys. Just stonewalls everybody. And then whenever it is, a couple weeks later, thank you, Sarcastro, in the super chat with the beer money. You're a beast. And then Micah Parsons walks in and everything changes. First rep, you go, oh, listen, crap.
I'm with you on that as well because I don't know his personality. But I've been around long enough, and you've been around long enough. There are rookies who think that way.
And Mike is going to change that on his first rep, second rep, third rep, fourth rep,
and then it comes to that point, and you go, "Oh, like I was in that situation where like you get in there, you think like, oh yeah, this is just football and you go up. I'm like, I'm going up against Jonathan Joseph, and he jams me up and almost knocks me down. I'm just like, oh, this is different. Like
he's better than the kids that I was just in the rookie camp.
This is better than the guys I was just running circles around 2 weeks ago. Oh, this is Jonathan Joseph. This is whoever it was at the time, I was there Cincinnati, but you watch Chad Johnson. It is an eye-opening experience when you see it happening. I remember talking about Tyron Smith when Tyron Smith came, and it was like, oh, Tyron Smith, this rookie out of LSU, out of USC, da, 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 da. And the first rep, and the ball snapped, and DeMarcus Ware, like, he's still in the stance, and DeMarcus Ware runs by him. And you saw his face like, like, oh, this different speed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Tyler's gonna realize, Oh yeah, there's Tank Lawrence, and Tank's not running around you. He's just gonna take that long stab and go right down the middle of your chest, and you'll be sitting on the feet of
Mhm.
Dak Prescott. Like it's those moments happen. Like it is that you're gonna have some rookies that you're like, yeah, I'm the guy, I'm this, and this, and then you're gonna line up, and it's gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I want to see Mozzie's first one with Zach Martin, where he went, "Oh, I thought I just got to throw people around.
What did
This old son of a bitch knows what he's doing."
what did Miley say? I don't even like football. I like to just hit people.
I'm
It's like,
like,
oh,
you,
yeah,
you
these ain't the kids you hitting at Michigan, my boy. This
no,
this ain't that type. You ain't beating up on these big folks. These grown men. I tell the rookies this. I go, this is different. I said these men got mortgages, families, baby mamas, side pieces. You not messing up their tricking money. You
mm-mm.
think they gonna let you mess up their tricking money because you just won a spot?
Sir,
You ain't messing up. Nah, you ain't messing up folks tricking money when you got a wife, girlfriend, and a
mm-mm.
shorty on the side.
You need to
You,
stop
that
that.
no, not me. Those
Yes.
guys.
Mm.
Those guys.
That is an accusation and an assault on character of unnamed people.
They got mortgages and car payments and
Yeah, those things are tough. Mortgages and car payments suck, especially when you're unemployed. But that's okay.
it's all good.
Yeah. Just hey, we'll be live every night
Every night.
from 5 to 11 p.m. until we get enough super chats to keep the electric on.
I'm gonna start taking off our clothes if necessary.
We're not doing that. I mean, we would for
We
money,
could.
obviously. We would for
Only
money, obviously, but I just think that the people that are here right now hearing that don't want us to, and so that's off-putting.
go
So,
get your ladies and make it a family affair. Like we'll talk sports and then we'll take our clothes off. It's like a
Jesse,
two-way street.
stop it. Last thing that I wanted to do this evening is just I saw Josina Anderson talking about Stephon Gilmore, and she had quotes from him. And I quote, I feel like it's the age thing with some of these teams. If I was 28, I would have already been signed by now. At the same time, I know the value I still bring. If you watch the tape, I feel like I played well the last 2 years and literally almost played every snap last year. So I'm staying patient while watching my son, who's a wide receiver and corner, lock people up on the field with his defensive back skills. Yeah, man, you get old at corner in this league real fast. Running back and corner, the NFL is ready to quit on you real fast. And I do think Gilmore was good last year. I also think Gilmore was a little slower last year, just a little bit. But, like, he bailed them out against DK Metcalf and saved their bacon. I don't love what they have outside of their starters. And if Stephon Gilmore's phone ain't ringing at all, the Cowboys should call that phone and be like, look, is it embarrassing to you if we offer you a low number, or do you want to play football? Like I'm good with Diggs, Bland, Lewis, but I'm not good after that. I'm intrigued by Kalen Carson, the 5th round pick, but
He's gonna be good, man. He's gonna be
I
good.
don't disagree, but I
He's
mean,
gonna be good, man. I got it in my spirit. Like I think when we look back at this for spring of 2025, we're gonna say which rookie from this class impressed us the most. And Case's gonna be there's something about a guy 4-year starter, like got a lot of reps, like is I'm not knocking any other coach. I just like the way, and I like the way that Al Harris leads men. I just do. I just think he is of the mindset in this new age. He understands how to get the best out of him, and so I'm intrigued by that. I think he's going to be the one, and that's why I'm kind of on the opposite end of you. I'm kind of like, I'm good, Diggs. Your phone's not ringing for a reason. Like you are 34 years old. You are old. You are slow. And if we're not playing against a really big wide
I say
receiver,
hope we don't play Seattle.
like like it's like, yeah, you do well against AJ Brown and you do well against DK Metcalf, but other than that, like Jokic is turning you around and you're giving up 10-yard completions, but you have to play so far off against the quick-footed, quick twitch receivers. So I'm okay with you not coming back if that's the case. Like, I'm not like, oh, what was me? I'm like, nah, I like what we have. Like I said, Lewis and Bland and Diggs and Payson. I like those guys going forward. So we'll live with that defensive backfield.
All right, we talked Cowboys tonight. Hey, everybody, you can get Believe in the Dallas Cowboys wherever you get your podcasts. If you're an audio listener, or if you want to be an audio listener, you can get it on the go. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh, that's great as well. Subscribe, hit the like button, all of those things. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube and you're like, oh, well, I don't always have to watch. Sometimes I could listen wherever you get podcasts. Believe in the Dallas Cowboys, BLEAV. And check out Melon, melon.com, melin.com/Cowboys, 30% off. They don't do sales very often. Badass hats. Unless you have something else, Jesse, I'm about to outro.
Yeah, when you get done watching us on Believe in Cowboys and watching Jeff on his thing, head on over to Unfiltered with Jesse Holley on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all the other places that you can go. Unfiltered with Jesse Holley at Mr. Fourth and Long on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, man. We're looking for a new studio, but the 68 episodes up right now, so go listen to those and yeah, outro us.
Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.